You've lived with the same set of instructions your entire life. Always toughen up. Stop taking things so personally. You are too sensitive. When you spend years apologizing for your tears, it creates a persistent internal tension. You begin to feel like a glitchy, broken system, constantly stalling out in a world that everyone else seems to navigate effortlessly. Biological research suggests the diagnosis you've been given is incorrect. Psychologists identify this trait as a highly sensitive person, though a more accurate description of your hardware is a supersensor. Most human brains record the world in standard definition. It's an efficient process that gets the job done without using too much memory. Your brain records in 8K resolution. That constant sense of overwhelm is the natural, unavoidable byproduct of operating a massive biological hardware upgrade. This diagram illustrates the first major neurological difference. Most brains save energy by ignoring 90% of their surrounding environment. Your brain lacks that filter, a state neuroscientists call low-latent inhibition. Every texture, sound, and shift in mood wires directly into your core nodes simultaneously. Processing the hum of a refrigerator alongside the complex emotions of the person next to you causes immediate sensory overload. However, this same mechanism allows the brain to spot hidden patterns and solutions that others miss. Your mirror neurons are also hyperactive. When you encounter someone in distress, your brain does more than just understand their mood. It immediately begins simulating their physical state, forcing you to experience their emotion in your own body. This high-density input triggers a specific computation strategy. When faced with a decision, your system briefly halts. It runs a complex simulation to ensure the best possible outcome. You might mistake this hesitation for anxiety or overthinking. In reality, your brain is engaging in deep semantic encoding, unconsciously referencing past memories to map out future results. What society labels as sluggishness is actually high-level computation. This raises an evolutionary question. If extreme sensitivity causes a system to overheat and shut down, why did natural selection preserve it for thousands of years? Ancient survival required a specific division of labor. While the majority of a tribe, the warriors, were built for impulsive risk-taking and immediate physical defense, the community also required a separate class of individuals dedicated to observation. A tribe consisting only of warriors would often rush into danger without a plan. Without someone to notice subtle environmental changes or shifts in tribal dynamics, the group faced extinction. This is where the supersensor became essential. Their 8K processing detected deceptions during negotiations or sensed atmospheric shifts before a deadly storm hit. These biological traits effectively turned highly sensitive individuals into royal advisors. This high-resolution radar system protected the tribe from the unseen. It provided a sophisticated early warning system that warriors, focused on the immediate fight, couldn't access. The modern world is loud, fast, and built almost exclusively for the warriors. In this environment, the sudden urge to hide in a dark room is a rational response. Because you process every detail so deeply, your biological RAM reaches its limit. The system has simply overheated and requires a hard reset. Science explains this through a concept called Vantage Sensitivity. This principle reveals why different brains react with drastic variance to the exact same environment. Most people operate like dandelions, growing in a sidewalk crack with a limited growth ceiling. Your brain is an orchid. An orchid will wither on a harsh, noisy sidewalk. But when placed in a highly controlled greenhouse, it achieves a level of complexity and beauty the dandelion can never reach. This struggle points to an acute mismatch between your highly specialized hardware and a toxic environment. You must permanently abandon the goal of installing a tougher filter. Biology cannot be forced into a thicker skin. The only viable strategy for a supersensor is environmental control. You must move yourself off the sidewalk and into the greenhouse. This requires fiercely protecting your boundaries and honoring the biological necessity of silence. Only in quiet can you clear out your mental RAM and reset. In an increasingly numb and disconnected world, this 8K resolution remains a critical trait for preserving our humanity.